Back, folks. American manufacturing is back. I recently took a trip literally around the world, starting in Egypt and ending up in Guam and finally coming home, ending with a meeting in Indonesia with the G20. The countries with many of the largest economies in the world. And what was clear in those meetings is the United States is better positioned than any other nation to lead the world economy in the years ahead if we keep our focus. There's a strong sense from all the world leaders of the resiliency of the American economy, and we're seeing it here at home with investments like the one we're talking about today. Together, with the help of your elected leaders here today, we've had an extraordinary 2 years of progress. We passed the American Rescue Plan, keeping tens of thousands of cops, firefighters, teachers, first responders on the job in all 50 states when revenues dropped because of the nature of the economy. We fully vaccinated more than 220 million people. We're rebuilding our infrastructure, fixing our roads, our bridges, our airports, strengthening American manufacturing by creating 750,000 manufacturing jobs just since I become president. What I'm most excited about is people are starting to feel a sense of optimism as they see the impact of the achievements in their own lives. It's going to accelerate in months ahead, and as part of the broad story about the economy we're building that works for everyone. One that grows from the bottom up and the middle out, that positions Americans to win the economic competition of the 21st century. When we grow it that way, the poor have a shot, the middle class do well, and the wealthy do very well. My dad used to have a saying. He said, you say, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck, Joey. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your child in the eye and say, honey.
I have important news to share with you. This evening, there are at least 2 more chances for many Americans to claim additional stimulus money. Several states are still depositing and mailing out 4th stimulus check to eligible residents, but some people may have to take action in order to receive this relief. Welcome to Updates Area YouTube channel. Our federal government has proposed several pieces of legislation that would provide a large number of Americans with some extra financial assistance as they try to deal with the rising cost of living and prices of essential items in 2020. The US Congress approved the first of 3 direct stimulus checks to Americans, the last of which was paid out in March 2021, and since then both Democrats and Republicans have shown their support for additional stimuli. They are called everything from tax rebates to middle-class tax refund. Several states devised its own payment amount and qualification standards. Unfortunately for those living in the Midwest, most payouts came from states along the 2 coasts. For the most part, only a couple of Midwestern states did make stimulus payouts to their residents. There are 2 states in the Midwest where residents may still be able to claim last-minute inflation relief. Illinois residents could earn as many as 2 separate payments from the state in 2023. The first payment in an income tax rebate that is worth $50 per single filer or $100 for joint filers. To qualify, you must be an Illinois resident with an adjusted gross income in 2021 of less than $200,000 or $400,000 for joint filers. The second payout is property tax rebate of up to $300. This one only applies to property homeowners. Specifically qualify, you must be an Illinois resident who paid property taxes in 2021 on a primary residence that you had owed in 2020. The rebates began going out in September 2022, but many Illinois residents are still waiting for the rebates. These payments, however, are continuing in 2023 for those who haven't received them as yet. In May of last year, the state of Indiana began sending out tax refunds of $125 for qualifying singles. There was no income requirement, but residents were required to file both their 2020 and 2021 Indiana state tax returns. So, a second round of rebates in the amount of $200 per qualifying taxpayer began being sent out by direct deposit in late August of last year. Taxpayers that qualified for the $125 credit were automatically eligible for the $200 payment. However, for states residents that only qualified for the $200 payout, payments are still being withheld. That money will only be released to taxpayers who file a 2022 tax return before January 1st, 2024 and can claim it on their taxes. Part of the reason for this extra step is that residents who did not qualify for the $125 credit must demonstrate that they are both receiving Social Security benefits and are not claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. Minnesota was another state that managed to make distributions to their residents, in the case $488 payments for frontline workers. Kentucky individual income tax rate also dropped at the beginning of this year and may drop even further next year. So that was it for today guys, and I hope you liked the video. Please leave a like and also hit the subscribe button. I will see you next one. Bye bye.